Yeah, hello everyone. I'm audible to all of you. Let me confirm.
Hello. Hi, Samir. Hi. Uh,
Y-
Hello. Hi, Samir, sir.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
yeah, audible.
Yes, actually, people are joining. Can we just wait for 5 minutes? In the meantime, let
Yeah,
me
sure,
take the attendance and then you can
sure,
start with the sessions.
sure, sure, ma'am,
Okay.
sure. Okay,
And recording has been started.
okay,
Okay.
ma'am. Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Thank you, Samir, sir. Yes.
thank
So please, guys, answer your attendance. If not, you would be marked absent. Okay. So I would want everyone to say present when the name is called out. Okay. Nishant, Gaurav, Navyata, Abid. Abid, are you there?
Yeah, present.
Ha. Venkata Teja. Venkata Teja. Neetu Kumari.
Present, ma'am.
Patel J. Patel.
Present, ma'am.
Sorry. Jain Patel.
Present, ma'am. Present,
Sujit
present.
Kumar.
Yes, ma'am.
Karthik Raja. Karthik Raja, you're there. Please answer, guys. If not, you're marking absent. Okay.
Ma'am,
Shravan
Karthik
Kumar.
Raj or Karthik Raja, ma'am.
Karthik Raja. 1 second, please. Shravan Kumar. Vishwajit. Venkata Bala Harika. Then Shubhankar Jog. Prekya. Selvi.
Yes, ma'am.
Prekya. Suchi. Suchi. Melita. Norman. Norman, you're there?
Present, ma'am.
Okay.
Present, ma'am.
Harshad. Sadhvi. Lakshya. Alka. Mansi. Siddhi. Ashwik. Ashwik, you're there?
Present, ma'am.
Tamini.
Yeah, ma'am. I'm there.
Yamini. Shivenga Raju. Yamini, you're there? Guys, please reply. Otherwise, I would be marking you absent and it would be sent to your college. Yamini, you're there? Shivenga Raju. Manikanta. Shivanesh. Fatima. Samba Shiva Rav. Rachel. Karthikeyan. Rakesh Chandu. Zafra Ansari.
Present, ma'am. Ma'am,
Who is
Rakesh
this?
Present,
present,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Ansari.
Present, ma'am.
Durga Bhavani. Madhumita. Madhumita,
Ma'am.
yes.
Present, ma'am.
Nirmal, yes. Spandana. Nilima. Sam.
Yes, ma'am.
Sam, you're there?
Sam present, ma'am.
Sam present. Okay. Vignesh. Vignesh, you're there? R. Madhumita. R. Madhumita.
Present, ma'am.
Chandini Kumari.
Yes, ma'am.
Karthik Raj. R.
Present, ma'am.
Akash. J. Karthik Kullu.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. Nishant is not there, correct? Nishant, Gaurav, Navyata, Neetu
Ma'am, hello
Kumari.
ma'am.
हाँ,
Excuse me. Rakesh
हाँ.
present.
Rakesh Chanduna present.
Yes, ma'am.
Venkata Teja is not there. Correct? Okay.
Ma'am, Neetu Kumari present, ma'am.
Who is this?
Neetu Kumari.
Neetu Kumari. 1 minute. Huh? Okay. I'll mark this. Neetu Kumari, right?
Yamini present, ma'am.
You are marked present. Neetu Kumari, let me check. You are marked present. Okay. Done. So, so Sammi, hello. Yes.
Sheikh Tawil present, ma'am.
Sheikh Toed is present. Okay. You didn't answer your mark, na? So you were marked absent. Okay. You're present. Okay. Fine. So, Samir, sir, you're there?
Yeah. Hello.
Over to you, sir. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, hello everyone. Yeah, I'm going to start the topic going on. Just recall once I recall all this topic that I have taught in previous classes. Our topic going on is the Amazon Simple Storage Service. Basically, it's related to a storage service. You can store your data, you can store your any kind of a objects in the storage class. You can say that a cloud. Okay, the current topic going on that is known as Amazon Simple Storage Service. Inside the Simple Storage Service, I have covered many topics that I recall one by one. Okay, after that, I will move on a later on topic. Today, first, I will take the some conceptual things that is important in terms of a practical and in terms of interview questions also. If you are going for a practical session or you are doing a practical by own or you are going for a interview or a project, there are a lot of questions can ask from the simple storage service. So let's come to a topic I cover one by one. This is a conceptual basically. Okay, in the previous class, I taken practical things compared to a or you can compare with the theoretical concept classes. Okay, so in today classes I will cover the conceptual as well as practical part also. So don't need to worry if and at any point if you feel problem at the end of session you can ask one by one. Okay, or you can drop your doubts or problem in a chat box also. Okay, I will clarify or give the answer at the end of a session one by one. Let's come to a topic. This is the basically simple storage classes. You know already I told the concept of a bucket, how you can create the bucket, how can give the name of the bucket, and what is the advantage of a bucket. You can keep your data on a cloud with the help of bucket. If you want to keep your data on a storage classes on a AWS, first you need to create the bucket. And how to create the bucket, I already told you. Don't need to worry, I will revise once again. After that I will this topic is I drop this topic in between because the class over time over in a previous session. Don't need to worry, I will take this topic versioning in this session. Okay, and life cycle management also, how can we manage the life cycle of the object. Suppose that there are some important data that you access on a daily basis. Okay, like your credential, like your user ID and password or other company information, account credentials. Okay, you access on a daily basis. There are some data that you access on a monthly or quarterly basis, like your Aadhaar card, like your marksheet data. This data is important, but not daily required. Might be possible your Aadhaar card detail once in a month, once in a quarter, or might be possible once in a 6 months required. Okay, there are some data also important, but you daily not required. So where we can keep this data on a storage classes, because the AWS will charge according to number of access from the cloud. The AWS will charge according to requirement of a data. If you access daily the data, the charge will be different. If you access the data monthly, the charge will be different. If you access the data quarterly or once in a 6 month, the charges will be different. So at the commercial point of view or financial point of view, we should know where we can keep our data in a different storage classes. Later I will tell you how many storage classes AWS provide and where we can correctly put our data inside the correct storage class. After that, how do we secure and encrypt our data in S3? The encryption and security also provided by the AWS. You don't need to worry about the security. If your data is a financial, if your data is a very important, if your data is related to a customer or related to a company, so you always worry about a security and encryption of a data. So if you choose the AWS as a vendor, so AWS will provide the 100% security and encrypt your data on a cloud. You don't need to worry about the security and all these aspects. Next, AWS requires the best practices for S3. If you are choose the S3 as a storage classes, then you can deploy all your important data, okay, related to yours, maybe yours related to software, maybe confidential data, maybe computer data, any kind of a data you can keep on a S3 storage classes. Next, these are the point one by one I will cover in different topic. Let's move to a next slide. Overview of S3 concepts. Simple storage, I already told the definition. The AWS simple storage service provide the security, durability, and high scalability of a cloud storage. Okay, once you store your data in a S3 class of Amazon, you forget about the security because it's a security is concerned for AWS. AWS provide the security, durability. 99.99% durability will be provided by the AWS. Your data will be durable on a AWS cloud and high scalable. Anytime you can scale your data according to your requirement. Okay, don't need to purchase in advance the data cloud storage from the AWS. As your requirement going to increase, you can scale your cloud storage. For what the advantage of the scalability, according to requirement of a data storage in the S3, you have to pay for that only. Okay, in advance, don't need to pay anything to AWS. When data stored in the AWS, at the end of day, the AWS calculate the amount of a data and charge according to retrieval fees. Okay, and 100 times you retrieve the data. You can keep your data on a AWS server free of cost. Only AWS charge as a retrieval fees. Okay, suppose that you 1000 times you retrieve your data from the S3 storage class, so that AWS will be charged according to retrieve from the S3. This is covered in the inside the S3. Now coming to the next point. This is the durability. Basically, Amazon provides the 11 nines durability. Means you can type nines 11 times, 9999 like that. So your data is durable inside the availability zone provided by the AWS. It's a guarantee of AWS. Your data will be durable 11 nines by the AWS. It's a guarantee provided by the AWS. To don't concern about the durability and security because it's 100% ensured by the AWS. Your data is fully 11 times 9 durable on a AWS cloud. Your data is stored in fashion like this. Availability zone, I already told you what is the availability zone. Availability zone is nothing but it is a data center where your data keep or store on a AWS cloud. And I already told you how many availability zone provided by the AWS. Maximum 3
Great.
and minimum 2
Two.
availability zone provided by the AWS. Okay, so as your choice, if your data is very important, you can choose 3 availability zone. Otherwise, 2 minimum availability zone definitely provided by the AWS. Okay, the charges will be according to your requirement, charged by the AWS. And this is availability of a data. 99.99% your data will be available always into the AWS storage class. You can access your data 99.99 availability always. 0.01 might be possible error. It is very negligible error. Okay, so your data is always live. Whenever you need your data, you can access your data 24 into 7 into 365 environment. It always available. There are no any networking error, there are no any technical error, no technical glitches, no any network error, internet error, like the any type of error, server error, database error, storage error, no any kind of error you will get it. If you if you feel that you watch any movie on a Netflix without any disturbance, you keep watching any web series, any movie, or any new launch movie on a Netflix platform. Okay, so that your data will always be available 4 times 9. Sometime this question will ask into an interview also, how many percentage of the availability guaranteed by the AWS. So you can answer that 99.99 availability provided by the guaranteed by the AWS. You can say that. You can choose like this: user, your data, Amazon S3. Then you can choose the different regions. If your client reside in a USA, you can choose the region of belong to a USA. If your client belong to the Asia, you can choose the region. The region basically choose by requirement where your clients reside or whether your client need to put their data on AWS. So reason might be North Virginia, Ohio, Asia Pacific, Mumbai, Hyderabad, like that. Okay, it will choose when you first time log in on a AWS panel, default region you can look over here. I'm showing you on AWS panel. You can check your default region over here. Currently, I am in North Virginia. You can check these are the regions. I already told you in the previous class how many regions AWS provided. 34 launch region. Okay, already 134 launch region AWS have in the global infrastructure. How many data center means how many availability zone AWS offer? 108 availability zone AWS offer. Okay, currently I am logging into the North Virginia. Suppose that my clients reside want to launch their data or launch their web application in a Mumbai region. So I can, within a few seconds, I can change the region from North Virginia to, I can switch from the North Virginia to Mumbai region. It's within click of a mouse, you can jump from one region to another region. Okay, suppose that you have 10 clients, one region, one client in a Singapore, one client in a Mumbai, one client in a North Virginia, one client in a Ohio, one client in Australia, so that you can jump one region to another region within few seconds. Okay, you can deploy or upload the client data in a S3 classes. Okay, like this. Now come to next. I hope you understand. This is the reason. With the help of this diagram, you can understand what is the availability of a data. Cost efficient. I already told you in the starting. The AWS provide the cost efficient storage classes also, because you can store large amount of data with very low cost. The AWS will charge only the retrieval fees. Whatever the data you can keep in the AWS, but when you going to retrieve your data one times, 100 times, 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times, 10,000,000 times, 1,000,000,000 times, okay, then AWS will charge according to retrieval. Suppose that any movie newly launched on a Netflix, so that you understand, millions of users day one to watch that movie. So that AWS will charge according to volume of the user hit the storage classes. Suppose that 10 million user first day access that data. So AWS will charge 10 million user hit that data or access that data from the storage classes. The AWS charge according to 10 million. Second day, suppose that 5 million user hit the data or retrieve the data to watch that movie. So that second day AWS will charge for the data amount stored in the same amount of data stored in the storage class. But first day 10 million access the data, watch the movie. Second day 5 million user access the data, watch the movie. Third day 3 million user access the data, watch the movie. So that 10th day 1000 user watch the movie. How the AWS will charge to Netflix? First day, according to 10 million user, multiply by some amount of a dollar. Second day, 5,000. Third day, 3,000. Like that, he will calculate. Suppose the 11th day, the data, the movie stored in the AWS storage classes, but no one watched that movie. so that 11th day AWS will charge for data. 11th day AWS will not charge to Netflix because no one single user access that data. So the cost is depend how many times that data retrieve from the storage classes. Okay, I hope you understand this concept. You have to pay what you use. You don't have to pay what you store. First, one concept you must have to clear, you have to pay only for the uses. You don't have to pay to keep the data in AWS. You are charged per GB for monthly uses. Okay, S3 offer a variety of different storage classes. I will tell you which you can categorize a data like a Redshift. This is a data RDS, relational data system, DynamoDB, Cloud Run. This is the basically database that will AWS offer to you. Okay, you can store in a data your data in a different storage classes or database also as requirement. If your data related to a web internet, you can store that data in a storage classes. If your data is structured in table form, you can, or query based data, you can store that data in a database also. Next, this is a security. Amazon S3 offer numerous security option, SSL certificate added with each and every object of a data of a S3. Okay, the security certificate added by the AWS so that you can 100% make sure the AWS provide the security socket layer certification by the AWS. Encryption also added by the AWS. Permission, read permission, write permission, read write permission, put permission, deletion permission, edit permission, modify, whatever the permission you enable, only that permission AWS will hold. Suppose that you reopen the data for the reading purpose. So anyone access that data only for belong to only for the reading purpose. I already show you in access control list if you remember that in a previous classes, I told you how you can public your data, public your object, make public your object with the help of access control list. I already show you. Don't need to worry. I will repeat once again this concept. So inside the permission, you can tick the permission or block the permission. Okay, I will show you this permission inside the access control list. And this is the security key. You can generate the password. You can generate the OTP kind one-time password also. You can generate the web key also. You can generate the notification. Suppose that you are logging your Gmail account on any unknown system. So there are a notification pop up in mobile. Once you confirm on your mobile pop up, yes, I am this person to log in on a particular device. Then you are able to log in on your Gmail account on an unknown system. Okay, this thing happen always. This is the security provided by the Gmail, Google. Okay, same security enable in a AWS, available in a AWS also. When you can, how you can add this service later, I will discuss one by one. Security also concern of AWS, so don't need to worry about the AWS about the security provided by the AWS. Okay, these are the data. Amazon S3 allowed to store much data as you want. Whatever the data you want to store, you can store because numerous amount of a data or storage classes or a volume provided by the AWS. The storage is elastic. You can scale or increase or decrease any point of a time. You can scale your data according to requirement or according to your client requirement. You can increase the capacity of a storage classes. So that I always called it elastic or scale. Next, these are the Amazon techniques. With the help of this technique, we can store our data like that email notification. It will store into SQS, simple queue service. What is the full form of SQS? Simple queue service. Whatever the notification or mail, it will going through S3 data, store in Amazon S3 via S3. It will guided SQS by SQS, simple queue service. It will forward in the form of email. Email recognized by the at the rate. Whatever the data it access by the email, it is stored by the SQS, simple queue service. Simple notification SNS, simple notification service. It will, you can get the email notification with the help of SNS. Lambda, it's a headless service. You can access the email notification with the Lambda also. These are the three techniques that will provide by the S3, SQS, SNS, simple notification, simple queue service, simple notification service, and Lambda. I will discuss all these three services later in the next part. This is the basically multi-pair. The high performance AWS S3 also provide the high performance of a data. You can divide your data multi-part upload. You can upload your data into a multi-part, maximize network throughput and resilience. Amazon S3 transfer acceleration allow you to make edge location. I already tell you what is the edge location. Edge location, it increase uploading and downloading of a data. It increase the speed of the data. Basically, edge location, it is also called the CloudFront. Amazon CloudFront also it is known as the edge location. It is the end part of it will connect it through a availability zone and availability zone connected through a region. Okay, the edge location basically it increase your internet data. You can fastly upload or download the data within few milliseconds with the help of edge location. So these are the edge location. With the help of edge location, you can upload or download data in the S3 or from the S3. This is the data. You can see the diagram carefully so that you can understand the concept of uploading with the help of edge location. These are the edge location that will increase the speed of the data. It work like a cache memory. Okay. Next, this is the integrated service with Amazon S3. You can integrate different technologies with the Amazon S3 storage classes. CloudFront, basically it's edge location kind of a thing. You can connect with S3 so that your uploading and downloading speed will be automatically increased at a time of suppose that when your volume size of a data or hitting of a hotting on a server going to increase. Okay, so that you can enable the CloudFront. CloudWatch, it is also the part you can connect with S3. Relational data service, elastic block storage. Elastic block storage, it is like a hard disk. You can attach your cloud hard disk with the storage classes also, so that your data will move from the S3 to elastic block storage or elastic block storage to S3. It's work like a hard disk. Like in a computer system, you have a hard disk also, or you have a storage classes also. Sometimes you transfer your data from the elastic block storage to a RAM or RAM to elastic hard disk. Okay, same fashion will implement over here. You can transfer your data elastic block storage to S3 and S3 to elastic block storage. And Lambda is work also like this. Lambda is a topic or technique I will discuss in the later classes also. This is the web console. This is a different data coming from the different source. You can see over here AWS S3 has a multiple connectivity. You can connect your web data, mobile data, or internet data with the Amazon S3 via user. You can store your data on a Amazon S3 also. This is a web based Amazon CLI, basic command line argument. You can use like a DOS, window DOS. Okay, DOS or this operating system is a command-based operating system. Same, you can control your AWS with the help of command also. Okay, command line or interface. This is the software or package. I will provide the link. You can download AWS CLI on your system so that you are able to access your cloud on a command prompt also. Mobile app also, API SDK also. Backup archiving. So obviously, the Amazon S3 ideal for backing up or archiving critical data. You can store unlimited amount of data if required. Did AWS also provide a backup? Sometimes, if suppose that your server goes down or some natural cause happen over here or some earthquake happen over there, terrorist attack like this is the unnatural cause happen on where your server reside. Then in that condition, what will happen? Don't need to worry about the AWS guaranteed to provide the backup of a data in that situation. Suppose that your data reside in North Virginia and next day there are a big earthquake over there, so that your server going to loss because due to a earthquake all the things damage over there in the North Virginia. So what will happen? Don't need to worry about that. The second available data center will provide the backup of the data. As the one availability zone goes down, the second availability zone immediate become the active, and the data will provide it within milliseconds. So you never feel your data goes down or break down or due to a technical error. You will always get the data by the AWS. The data will be backup and archiving by the guarantee provided by the AWS. Elastic web scaling is also the concept. This is the object based. Everything, whatever the you store in the Amazon store S3, it is stored in the form of object based storage. AWS S3 basically provide the object based storage class over there, so that you can store or retrieve your data anywhere on the web from anywhere in the world. Within a millisecond of a click, you can access your data on a, internet. Data will always be available. Only you need to log in on a AWS panel. With the help following the some command, your data will be always available for you. So don't need to worry about that. Your data web scale all over the world. You store, once you store the data, you can retrieve your data anywhere from the world, any location. Content storage, you can store any kind of, or you can offload or entire storage infrastructure to the cloud to minimize the cost. Okay, you can store your data according to your requirement. If your data required on a daily basis, then you can store in a different classes. Okay, if you once access your data once in a month like that, you can store your data in a different storage classes. Next topic I am going to cover how many storage classes provided by the AWS. This is a big data concept. Amazon S3, you can store your financial data, images, file, video, audio, anything you want, you can store on a Amazon S3. Simple storage service. Any kind of data you can store in the Amazon S3. You only need to pay for the retrieval fee. When your these data going to retrieve from the S3 classes, then you need to pay to AWS. Otherwise, AWS will not charge to you. The static website hosting, I already showed this static website hosting in a previous class. How you can host your static website, sorry, with follow the some protocol or some instructions. I show you. I already show you. I'm inside the Amazon S3 classes. Just I before going to next topic, I recall all the how you can create the bucket like this. I have created some bucket. I have some bucket that I have created in a previous classes so that you can go inside the create bucket, because without bucket you cannot able to store your data on a S3 class. Okay. The first requirement is that you have a bucket. So for the bucket creation, you need to choose the bucket name should be unique. Okay. You can choose your name like this and dot architect. Maybe it should be unique. You can choose like this. Okay, or you can add any number over there. This is the bucket. If you move down, you will get the ACL enable. I already showed these are the ACL. Basically, it shows the permission. You can read the object, or you can write the object, or you can access for the reading or writing both. Okay, it will control the permission. The object, when your object access out of the word, so you can access these object only for the reading purpose or writing purpose. So you can enable ACL, access control list, you can enable it. Later on, I will open it for reading or writing purpose. Now, I already told you each and every bucket public by default private, so that you need to make public explicitly. You remember one thing, whenever you are going to change the default setting, AWS will always ask to acknowledge because you are going to change the default setting. So you need to give the confirmation to AWS, because I am the person that changed the default, the setting. So you must be acknowledged to AWS. So current setting going to change. So I must acknowledge to AWS. Bucket versioning, I already told you. I repeat this topic once again. You must need to enable the bucket versioning once again. I enable the bucket versioning. Encryption or server-side encryption, but default encryption SS3, it's by default encryption provided by the AWS. You don't need to. It's by default enable also. If you disable the encryption, your data may be risky. So by default, it's enabled. Security always be encrypted. There are some advanced setting. Object lock is disabled. Okay, I will tell you once you object log, it is related to versioning bucket. Okay, such bucket, we can write or read or write object. When you enable, your object may be writing also, overwrite also. Other user can, when you enable the object locking, the outside the user can also write the object. Suppose that you put any doc file, if you enable the object lock. So might be possible your object can be changed, so that other user can also writing the object with the help of enable custom. So by default, this is disable, make it disable and click on a create bucket. The object, the bucket going to create, if its name would be unique. I have to give other name also because already created. Bucket name must not contain uppercase or lowercase. The first letter should be small a. Remember, I put this thing, then going to create. The first letter always should be small. You must remember. Me.architect. This is the name of bucket 131. It is created. When you are going inside when you enter into a bucket, you will get these kind of a property. This kind of a tag you can see inside the bucket of first object. It will provide all the information about the object that you uploaded inside the bucket. Bucket works same manner, same thing as a folder. If you store any data inside your computer, first you need to create a folder. Okay, inside the folder you keep your data. Same fashion over here, if we want to store any data on a cloud, we need a bucket over there. Metadata, this is the information about the data. Properties, this is basically property of the bucket that I have created. If you scroll down, what the information I will access. Sorry. Bucket overview. This is the overview of bucket. I have created my bucket in the North Virginia region. This is the resource address where my bucket created. ARS, this is the some pattern for given by the AWS, provided by the AWS. Okay, this is known as Amazon resource name, or in short ARN. This is the actual resource, actual address where your data reside. Creation date, new bucket versioning. I will tell you, enable it by default. I already enabled at the time of creating a bucket, so don't need to worry about that. If you scroll down, you will get after versioning, default encryption already enabled, intelligent tiering archiving, I will tell you, server access login, cloud trail, event notification. These are the few properties, object log, request pay, static website hosting. Okay, if I am entering into a static website hosting, add it. You can enable it. After just enable it, you will get this kind of a syntax over there. If you scroll down, there are two blank boxes over there. If you can upload if you have two HTML pages, you can upload two HTML pages in a bucket and make them public. Okay, and mention these HTML pages over here. For following these instructions, you are able to create the static website hosting. With the help of this static website hosting, without purchasing domain, you can able to launch your website. Informative website you can create with your, like your resume writing, like your information. You can launch in form of static website over the internet. So it will provide by the AWS free of cost. Only you have a free tier account that will provide by the AWS for 1 year. I already told you. Hope all you must open your free tier account on a AWS panel. Okay, this is already told you. Next, I am going to explain the permission. Okay, inside the permission, you will get the public or private option over here. I already told you how you can make your bucket public or private. You will get this option inside the permission tag. Click on block permission. By default, it's a public. By default, it's a private. You explicitly make a public. Suppose that I again need to make a public. You can check over here and save changes. Then you are able to again make your bucket public. Okay. Currently, I leave this with public access. So inside the bucket option, you can get inside the permission, you get the block public access also. Scroll down. Inside when you scroll down, you get the bucket for policy. How you can write the policy for all the policy inside the AWS written in a JSON code. You don't need to write the code because already all the policy written in a JSON. JavaScript object notification. It's a written. I will tell you in a identity and access management IAM class. Next service, when I will take object ownerships. Okay, object ownership. This is basically belong to you. You are the owner of the object. Then your detail will be shown over here. When you can add it by yourself, you can check what the information given inside the object ownership. This is the access control list. Just I am going to edit it. When you are going to edit it, you can check the first option, guarantee bucket owner. So bucket owner by default list the object. You can make the listing kind of a thing. You can make the menu of the object, increasing order, increasing according to size, increasing according to uploading, increasing according to date. Okay, you can select these property. You can list the object, you can write the object. By default, it's checked. You can read the object, you can write the object. These four permissions already checked. Why these four things are checked? Because you are the owner. So that it's a guarantee. Owner always can list the object. Owner always can write the object. Owner always can read the object. Owner always can write the object because you are this object belongs to you. So that AWS by default provide this permission to you. But when I am coming to everyone public, you can check it. Anyone public can access list the object? No, because this not checked. This is unchecked. Public cannot list the object. Public can write the object. This is disable. Public never can write the object. Public may read the object. Okay, you can read my object in a public domain. You can read only, but you cannot write or modify my object. So that when you are going to launch your data in a public domain, okay, so that you can check it. Okay, if you don't want to make your object public, so that by default already unchecked, you don't have to do anything. Okay, so if you need this object to make a public, so that you can list, read them, read. When you are tick these two options, again I change the default setting so that you must acknowledge to AWS. I understand the effect of these changes, so you have to acknowledge to AWS. I change this setting. Okay, and next option, authenticated user group. Anyone with an AWS account. You have an AWS account, lot of person have an AWS account. So that I am enable this object for a reading purpose who has AWS account. Only that person can read my object. Okay. Suppose that currently 20 student login on a currently join this session. Among a 20 student, 10 student have a AWS account. Remaining 10 students don't have a AWS account. So I enable check this permission. Only those have a AWS account. Only that user can view my object. So I can authenticate only that user group who have a AWS account can read my object. Okay, you can control your object with a certified group. Okay, S3 log delivery group. You can, these are the particular group you can make make it for a commercial purpose or some reasons or some technical person or inside the company. You can list among the group of them. Whatever the person inside the group, only that person belong to particular group can list the object, can write the object, can read the object, and read and write both the object. Okay, you can check list, write, read, write. Okay, for the particular group, once the group will authenticated by the person, by the administrator of your company or your manager or a project manager, then that object can be write. Maximum suppose that you are the database administrator. For the database administrator or the user belong to a database administrator can read the object, can write the object. Because sometimes data administrator always modify the database, always read the database, sometime write the database, sometime update the data, so that you have to provide the access permission for a writing and reading both to a database administrator. So once you can create the group of a database administrator, and you can read or write permission to that database administrator group, and you can add guarantee also different. You can check inside this ACL group. I hope you understand the concept of the ACL. Now going down, object ACL already explained. Everyone, cross origin resource sharing. You can share course. In short, it is called a course. You can share your object into a different resource. I practically explain this concept. Before explaining this, need to understand some important concept also. This is the permission part. Now come to a management matrix. I will tell you inside the management. Check out the manage. And here you will get the life cycle rule, the object life cycle. Okay, life cycle means when you are uploading the object, until unless you are deleting the object, your data reside into a AWS S3 storage class. Then the object will pass from the different phases. Okay, this is known as a life cycle rule. It will action provided by the Amazon S3. You can store your object in a different life cycles. Okay, I will tell you one by replication rule. What is the meaning of the replication? Replication rule means you can suppose that your data reside into a one availability zone. Unfortunately, that availability zone goes down or destroyed, or due to some natural cause, or due to some terrorist attack, or due to some hacking problem, or due to some technical glitches. One availability zone goes down. As your once availability data center goes down, your data immediate transfer from one availability zone to second availability zone. This function, this technique is called a replication. Your data will be replicated from one region to another region, or can say that one availability zone to another availability zone. Okay, your data will be replicated within same region also, or within one region to another region also. Okay, but you have to pay for that. If you choose inside the region from one availability to another availability zone, it will provide by the AWS S3. When you choose different regions, then suppose that you are in North Virginia. After accident, you choose the Asia. Your data will be replicated in the Asia region. Okay, as North Virginia region goes down, automatically your all data transfer from North Virginia region to Asia region. But you have to pay for that. This service provided by the AWS. This facility provided by the AWS, but AWS charge for that. Okay, you will get this option inside the management lifecycle rule, replication rule, and inventory. I will tell you this is not very access point. One by one, I will cover it. Okay, the first you need to practice from the object first tag. Okay, and you can upload your object from there. You can select the upload tag. I'm just showing you a concept of a versioning. Okay, once you upload, just come to site is cover, important static website hosting covered. Disaster recovery, replication, I already told you. You can AWS also provide the disaster recovery solution also. If you some reason goes down, your data will replicate it from one region to another region. You can seen on a screen also. This is the data center. Due to some reason, fire happened over here, your data immediate transfer from one data center to second data center over here. But you have to pay for that replication. This is a chargeable service provided by the AWS. Amazon S3. Detail about the Amazon S3 bucket. This is Amazon S3 bucket. A bucket is a folder. I already told you, bucket is nothing. It is a folder. You can read, write, or delete object from the bucket. Delete, write, read, multiple permission you can grant your object, give to your object. Okay. Sometime maybe delete, sometime maybe write, sometime maybe read for the object. You can choose this functionality according to requirement of a client or recording requirement of yours. You can store your object maximum size 5 terabyte. Okay, this is a large amount of a data size, object size you can store inside the bucket. You can store as many objects as you want in a, but object limits are limited 5 terabyte. This is a whole huge amount of a size provided by the AWS S3, and the largest put operation is 5 GB. You can apply on a single object, you can retrieve the object 5 GB at single time. Okay, and the size of the limit 5 terabyte object you can store 5 TB one object. So this is the object size 5 terabyte you can store inside the AWS. This is the huge amount of object that this option you will never found at any cloud platform. Only AWS offer this kind of a feature and services to their client. This is you can control access with create, delete, and retrieve the object. You will get this security inside the access control list. Okay, bucket is by default private. Okay, so the only creator can access. Okay, you can retrieve, create with security. Okay, you can so create the bucket. I already showed this option, AWS console. You can create the bucket with follow the different follow the some instruction. I already told you. This is a simple step. There are no any coding kind of a thing. You don't need to apply any coding. Simple, follow the some rule and protocol. Very simple manner. Mention on a AWS platform. You can follow only that instruction or protocol. You are enabled to open the create the AWS bucket. AWS CLI all letter, I will tell you. This basically this is a command line argument. With the help of command line, you are also able to create your bucket. But currently, I am going to explain GUI based graphical user interface. With the help of mouse, you can create the bucket because the AWS provide the command line argument and GUI based. Both option available for the user. As per your convenience, as per your requirement, you can use GUI based or CLI. Both options available. This is the bucket name. This is the sum protocol. When you are going to create your bucket, you must have to follow the sum protocol. These protocols, these rules, simple, like a Python, like a C, like any language, high level language, low language, same fashion, follow over here also. The bucket name must be between 3 or 63 character. First of all, the bucket name must be series of one or more labels. AWS recommends separating labels with a single period. Okay, you can use over there. Bucket name contain lowercase letter. You can must know this thing. Bucket name never be used uppercase. It always be used lowercase letter, number, or hyphens only. Okay. No other special character you must use over there. You don't need to use the uppercase letter. You can only use lowercase, number, hyphens for creating a bucket. Okay, you can give your name of your bucket with the help of these guidelines. Okay, when you follow these guidelines, you will not get any kind of error. Each level must start and end with lowercase letter or number can also start. Okay, so remind it when you are going to create your bucket or given a name of a bucket, you must follow these rules. I hope you understand this concept. Bucket restrictions. These are the restrictions. You can create a maximum 100 bucket in your AWS account. Okay. In each AO or AWS, once AWS account can only open 100 buckets. You can transfer ownership of a bucket to other user also. Suppose that you create the bucket. You can make me as the owner also. You can hand over your ownership to other user also. You can store unlimited number of objects in a bucket. I already told you 5 terabyte in a max single size 5 terabyte you can store inside the S3. You can create bucket within another bucket also. One bucket like a folder inside the folder inside the folder. You create sometime this kind of a fashion in your laptop also. One folder, then second folder inside the folder. You can create the hierarchy of folder. Same folder you can create a hierarchy of bucket. Okay, according to uh, generalization or specialization form you can choose by yourself. Amazon storage, these are the some storage classes property. These are the classes I already told many times. These are the classes provided by the AWS. Okay, the first class Amazon S3 standard. If you don't choose any storage classes, by default class will provide by the AWS S3 standard. Basically S3 standard belong to the frequently access. It known as a S3 standard frequent access. If you need your data on a daily basis, okay, then you can store your data inside the S3 standard because the charges is little bit of high compared to infrequent access. Okay, if you if you not change the option of storage classes by default as S3 AWS S3 will provide this S3 standard. Okay, so that whenever you are going to create your bucket, must check which standard class you needed. Suppose that you have a data required once in a month. I suggest you don't store that data in a S3 standard. Okay, you need to store your data inside the S3 standard infrequent access. Infrequent access matlab not daily basis. Okay, you can access this data once in a month or quarterly or maybe once in a 180 days. Okay, then you can store your data in a S3 infrequent access. Next, Amazon S3 reduced redundancy storage class. I will tell you. Amazon S Glacier. What is the Glacier meaning? Glacier meaning suppose that your data is very important, but not daily required. Suppose that your 10 class mark sheet, your 12 class mark sheet, okay, your mark sheet and certificate of belong to school is very important, but don't require on a daily basis. Might be possible once in a 6 month or once in a year. It's required so that you can store your important data that not required for a daily purpose. You can store into a Glacier class because the cost of the data retrieval fees inside the Glacier 1 upon 10 times lower than compared to S3 standard classes. If you pay $1 to S3 standard, then you need to pay $0.1 to store your data inside the Glacier. So next time when you are going to store your data, one thing keep in mind, it's retrieve on a daily basis. It's retrieve once in a month. It's retrieve once in a 180 days or it's retrieve once in a 360 days. According to retrieval, according to importance of a data, I will store our data into different sorry storage classes because charges not same. The S3 standard is high. Infrequence compared to S3 standard, low, but reduce Glacier high. So charges are different. So you must keep in your mind when you are going to store your data, you carefully choose this. If you store your client data in wrong storage classes, okay, when the bill will come, your client will fire on you. Okay, because you store the client data in a wrong storage classes. So the loss will not bear by the client. Okay, the client will ask you why you store my data in the wrong storage classes. So this concept is very important. And when you are going for a certification or when you are going for an interview, this concept will always asked by the interviewer. Why we choose the standard club, what is the importance of S3 standard, what is the difference between S3 standard and S3 standard in frequent access, what is the reduced redundancy, what is the Glacier, what is the one zone in frequent access. Okay, so these kind of concept will ask in an interview. Later I will discuss you when we'll use this concept, when we will I will show you upload the object, and after uploading the object I will show you these standard classes. Don't need to worry. Where it will get the option, I will show you. So these are the 5 to 6 classes you must have to remember. And the property later I will discuss in depth. This is the Amazon S3 standard features, design and availability and durability. 11 times 9. Must remember durability 11 nines, availability 99.99% provided by the AWS. Okay. Used to storage frequently accessed data, design 11.9 durability, availability 99, low latency and high throughput. It's guaranteed by the AWS. Low latency means minimum time you can access your data into 24 into 7 environment. Amazon S3 standard user dynamic website. You can dynamic website, cloud applications, mobile application, file storage, upload, access in real time. All the data belong to these kind of application you can put on a AWS S3 storage classes. Amazon S3 infrequent access. This is the second class because S3 standard by default choose what is the property of infrequent access. It is designed for the object access less frequently. If your data is not very important, suppose that you launch a new movie on a Netflix. What happens? This movie accessed by maximum number of users day 1, day 2, day 3 like that. Daily basis, it will hit might be possible 15 days or first month, first 30 days. It will access maximum number of users. So that for this new launch movie, you can put in a standard S3 standard. But after 30 days, the access, the retrieve goes down. Okay, then you can switch your data, switch your movie from S3 standard to S3 standard infrequent access because now this movie are accessed less frequently. Okay, I hope you understand. Demand rapid access, design 11.9 your movie will be 11.9 durable in a AWS 3 storage, high throughput available, low latency, it guaranteed by the AWS, lower cost per GB, but has a per GB retrieval fee. I already tell you AWS charge retrieval fees per GB. Okay, you must remember lower cost per GB, but has per GB retrieval fees. Amazon S3 standard infrequent access is used for data not required very often. Okay, for example, database backup. Database backup, maybe you can take your database backup once in a month or once in a quarter. So you can backup of a data, keep inside the S3 standard infrequent. Because you are not going to backup your data on a daily basis. Once in a month is more than enough to backup your data or 15 days so that you can backup data backup keep inside the S3 standard infrequent access uses. S3 reduced redundancy storage class. It is also important storage classes provided by the AWS. It will design for the data at lower cost. Okay, designed to non-critical object. Suppose you can store the data that is not very much important, not very much confidential. You can store your public data, website data, user data that is not very much important, very much confidential, very much secure. Just need to store it so that you can store your reduce redundancy. As a name, redundancy will be reduced. Okay, you can store the charges goes down. Design for object that are reproduction, design for lower durability, design for lower availability. The durability in the side, the reduced redundancy would be lower, so that charges also going down. So that sometimes you feel that your data is not very non-critical data, you can store inside the S3 reduced redundancy storage classes. Amazon S3 reduced redundancy storage classes. These are the thumbnail kind. Your data will be stored in form of a thumbnail data, processed data that can easily reproduce, transcoded media data you can store over here. The Amazon S3 reduced redundancy storage is a cost-effective solution for distributing data that is easily reproducible and has been durably stored in elsewhere. You can anytime you can durable your data or distribute your data reproducible in the S3 class. Now come to next point, Amazon Glacier. Oh, I already told you what is the Amazon Glacier. The data is important, but not daily basis retrieve. Once in a month, once in a quarter, or we can say that once in a 180 days or once in a 360 days. Okay, might be your academic record, schooling data, Aadhaar card, PAN card. Okay, some confidential information, not daily required. Okay, so that you can store this data inside the Amazon Glacier. The charges will be durability 11 nines, security vault kind of a feature, like a locker kind of your data locker will provide by the Amazon Glacier. Amazon Glacier is nothing but it is a kind of a locker, just like you keep your important document, your important jewelry inside the locker. Why you keep in this data in a locker? Because you daily not access. Okay, might you when you required, you go to bank, open the locker and take your amount. Same thing, if your data is important, you can keep this data in a Amazon locker. The Amazon locker in form of Amazon Glacier provided this service by the AWS. Okay, at very low cost. You have to pay once in a year. Okay, not a daily basis. Okay, and number of times you access your data in a year, then you need to pay for that. It's charges compared to Amazon S3 standard, 1 upon 10 times goes down. Glacier user, you can data backup, audit log files, compliances data. These kind of a data basically you can store into the Amazon S3 Glacier. This is a very important glacier. Sometimes it will ask into an interview also what is the Amazon Glacier classes. Explain it. What is the difference between Amazon Glacier, Amazon S3 standard, Amazon S3 infrequent access? These are the basically classes. So you have to explain these classes into an interview also. It will ask into a certification exam also. In short, if this is the comparison between the different retrieval fees. Retrieval time 1 to 5 minutes. Standard 3 to 5 hour. Bulk 5 to 8 hour. Retrieval fee charges per request, charges per 1000 per request. Lowest charges per 1000 request, like that. Data retrieval fees is charge per GB. Low is basically belong to a standard, infrequent standard, expedite and bulk requirement. Lower charges per GB. You can see on the screen also. And this is the comparison of a property. In a standard, durability 11 nines, standard infrequent as IA means infrequent as 99.119. It also durability will be same, only reduce redundancies. Reduce redundancy, sir, storage will provide 99.99 durability. And one zone means what is the difference between standard infrequent access and a standard one zone infrequent access. Okay, the zone availability zone, the single availability zone will provide in the one zone, and the infrequent access provided by the minimum two availability zone. So that difference between the standard infrequent access and S3 one zone infrequent access, the availability zone in a standard infrequent access will be 2, and the S3 one zone infrequent access will be 1. Availability, same, you can check it out only in a glacier, not applicable. Minimum storage time, not applicable. Standard, maybe daily. Standard infrequent access once in a 30 days, so that costing or billing will also create 30 days life cycle. The billing cycle of 90 days in a glacier, minimum 90 days. You can choose it. RRS, not applicable. One zone, 30 days, same as infrequent access. Retrieval fees in a standard, not applicable. Standard infrequent access per GB retrieval fee charged by the AWS. Okay. And the inside the Glacier, it also charge the per GB retrieved. In the RRS, not applicable. There are no any retrieval fees in the RRS. And the one zone, it is same fashion as a standard infrequent access. It also charge the per GB retrieval fees. Okay, it will calculate the number of GB, retrieve the number of time, and it will multiply by the fees. The end of you have to pay at the end of the day. Okay. First byte latency, millisecond, you can access your data. Standard infrequent access, you can also within millisecond you will get your data, but it Glacier will take the time. Okay, when you are going to retrieve your data, because your data is 100% you will assess, because the deliverability is 11.9 guaranteed by the AWS Glacier, but it will take some time. Okay, but charges also reduce compared to standard infrequent access. And RRS, you can also retrieve your data within millisecond, and one zone it also. Okay, so this is the comparison chart of all the storage classes for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 storage classes. Okay, so you can deeply analyze all this property, because this property will help you to crack the interview also. Sometimes these concepts will ask into an interview, what is the durability, what is the availability of the standard classes. You can compare the durability and availability of RRS and standard. There are a lot of questions can ask at a time of when you are facing an interview and you told I know the AWS, or I am the AWS certified trainer, or I know the solution architect. Okay, definitely this question will ask at a time of interviewer. At a time of interview can ask by the interviewer. One is also important classes. It is like a Glacier Deep Archive. Okay, what is the difference between Glacier Deep, S3 Glacier Simple, and S3 Glacier Deep Archive? Deep Archive is basically new class launched by the AWS storage classes. Basically, it provides the secure durability object store for a long-term data and a digital preventions. The same fashion as a Glacier, you can archive your data inside the deep. You can over here, you can extract your data over there. Okay, archiving, you understood, you use a many time archive of data. Amazon S3 from the internet. Okay, bucket name you can create. If you create a URL, the what is the fashion of URL, what is the pattern of URL? First the bucket name, S3 website, you can check over here. Inside the I have created one bucket. What is the check the name of the bucket? Tick, these are the pattern. This is the address or URL of the bucket. You can check over here. You can check any bucket address on the URL over here. And when you upload the object, you can check the URL object URL also in this manner. First, the bucket name. Then after static website like this. AWS region where you host this static website, and Amazon, this is the domain name provided by the AWS. Okay, this is basically AWS link static website hosting URL. Next class I will take lot of thing practical by because today I clear the maximum concept belong to your theory. URL access from Amazon S3, the bucket name. You can provide we can provide URL access to object stored in your bucket in form of static website hosting. Bucket name I already told you. Practically you better understand what these things say. Okay, you can, I'm showing you uploading one object. Yeah, next letter I will discuss this. New Amazon S3 console. This is the Amazon basically change their console pattern also. When you open your free tier account on the AWS, you will get the new kind of option like this. Versioning, logging, enable, disable, like the GUI based. You can check here. Okay, like this. Just wait, I'm moving to next slide. This is a S3 console. You will get the name of the bucket. These are the reason. 3 bucket you have created, 1 reason created, 1 reason you have. This is the date you have created the bucket. These all information you can see on your panel. Amazon S3 bucket name have to be, if I ask, what will be the answer of this question? Anyone guess? Amazon S3 bucket name have to be unique in each region, or unique in each availability zone, or unique across all region, or more than 63 character. Which answer would be right? A, B, C, D. You can chat also. You can drop your message in a chat box also. Okay, I hope understand. Any guess? Let's check the answer. The answer would be C, unique across all the regions. There are all the region. Your name of the bucket should be three. Amazon bucket name have to be unique globally and between 3 to 63 character. Okay, more than 63 wrong. S3 versioning. This is the current topic that's going on. This is the versioning. You can keep multiple version of a software or multiple version of a object inside the bucket. The AWS bucket will keep all the changes inside the bucket. Or suppose that you accidentally delete any object, but AWS keep that object, one copy of that object into a bucket also. Okay, don't need to worry about that. If you delete any object mistakenly or unfortunately deleted that object due to some reason, later on you need this object very important because this object is very important. In future you needed this data so you can retrieve this data again. But for this purpose of accessing this property, you must enable the bucket versioning. Okay. With the help of enabling the bucket versioning, you can retrieve or store multiple version of a same object or multiple copy of a same object inside the bucket. Next topic I will cover. I have last 10 minutes so that I will take couple of questions from your side. If you have any doubt, you can ask. We have some moment, we have some time to take the question from your side. If you have any doubt, for asking one request to all of you, all must open your AWS account on a free tier. Otherwise, you are not able to practice all this concept. Okay, because the maximum concept related to based on a practical background. If you not repeat it or not do the practice, you will after some time you become you will forget it. Okay, so I request you, those don't have a AWS account, first of all open that account. Only you need to pay 2 rupees from the debit or credit card. Sometimes it shows the disable. You call to a customer care or go to your mobile app and enable your debit card for the international transaction or domestic transaction or e-commerce platform. With the help of enabling these options or tick this option, you are able to pay 2 rupees. And once you pay the 2 rupees, your account will open for the personal reason or personal sections. You can use this free tier account only for the personal purpose. Okay, personal or individual, not for a professional, because these facility provided by the AWS only for the training purpose, so that you can learn all this concept and join the AWS and become the part of a AWS team, so that you can help to AWS grow their business and earn from the AWS also. Okay, so that you can become the solution architect in future, you must have AWS a free tier account also, because the lot of things provided by the AWS totally free. There are no single dollar will charge by the AWS for a 360 base, 365 days. So without fear, you can use this account, and whatever I'm telling you and uh, trained you in this session, you can practice all this concept on your AWS panel. Okay, hope you understand. So I'm going to bind up this session within few minutes. Before that, if you have any doubt, any question raised in your mind or any confusion, you can drop your question in the chat box. Okay, otherwise I'm going to close this section and meet on next Monday. Okay, any doubt, any questions related to bucket, versioning, availability zone, features of AWS? They can drop it, your question. Otherwise, I'm supposed to clear all this thing. I'm here for a few minutes. You can check it out. Or at the end of when you are going to log out, before log out, you can delete all the bucket. because when you delete the bucket, when you are again login on the AWS panel, so you practice to create again the bucket. Can check your platform at your end also. You will get the small video inside the YouTube also. Amazon how it's work. There are a lot of video available in the AWS panel for informative purpose. You can access this in small video also if you have any doubt at any point. Just if you want to delete any bucket, you can just select it and go to a delete option. And before deleting, it will ask type the name of the bucket like Sami.architect131. You explicitly type it. Okay. Sorry. Like this, you need to type because AWS ask it. You are going to permanently delete it, so you must type the name of the bucket over here. Then finally it deleted from the account. One bucket deleted. Now next bucket I'm going to delete this objects. First delete, suppose that you are going to delete the object. You select it and delete. You try it, better you can do it. Delete object successfully. Now back to AWS panel. This is the bucket list. Going to delete my bucket. It's already deleted. Samir architect. Empty bucket. Okay. First deleting, but you must to implement permanent type of permanently delete bucket. Empty it. First make empty. Then you are able to delete the bucket. If any object remain inside the bucket, you are not able to delete the bucket. If you want to delete the folder, first delete the content inside the bucket. Then you are able to delete the bucket. Okay, fine. Sorry. I hope you must practice all this uh, concept for coming days. If you have any problem, you can drop your message in a WhatsApp group also. I will connect with you guys. Okay, hope you enjoy this session and bye for today. No doubt. Okay, I'm going to close the session. Okay.